Gold Squad TV. What up? What up? What up? What up, man? All right, man. So I've been listening to a lot of this JB slander and trade for Damian Lillard. And the one thing I'm hearing commonly is that Jaylen Brown doesn't make his teammates better. Now I want to make this perfectly clear. I got love for Damian Lillard, but let me tell you what a point guard's responsibility is. A point guard's responsibility is to get his teammates involved and to run an offense. Dame Lillard is listed as a point guard, but he's played exactly the same way he's played since he came in the league. Scorer mentality first. I don't think he's ever managed to average more than 5 assists a game ever in his career. You're essentially trying to trade Jaylen for a guy that's never, for as much as I love Damian Lillard, doesn't really make his teammates better. He's a great leader, but if you're going to talk vocally, he's a great leader. He kind of he shows what he could do on the court as an offensive player. That's great. But what Dame lacks, it's passing. He's never been a great passer. Now, you're going to sit there and say, well, Jaylen Brown doesn't make his teammates better. Jaylen Brown's a small forward. He's a shooting guard / small forward. You're asking a guy to maybe 6'6", 6'7", to not only be a scorer, but to be a distributor when his main thing is to play defense and score. Nobody ever asked Kawhi Leonard to be a distributor. And he still makes his teammates better. Jaylen Brown essentially has a lot of the same qualities, except maybe a little more athletic, to Kawhi Leonard. It's not quite the player Kawhi is yet, but he's still growing. And yet, you're saying that y'all want to get rid of him because he's a black hole on offense. How could he really be a black hole on offense when you're asking him to score? Not to mention, the guys on his team, outside of Jason Tatum, who was there else that he could pass to? Kemba wasn't making buckets consistently. Salute Kemba, but he wasn't making the buckets since he barely played. Marcus Smart was bricking left and right. Peyton Pritchard is on and off because he's a rookie. Same thing with Naismith. On and off. They're rookies. Can't expect too much from them. And Langford can't hit a shot if it saved his life. Grant Williams doesn't even need to be on a court. All right. Tristan Thompson can't shoot. Tice barely could make any shots when he was there. It's like, you can't blame Jaylen Brown for not being a playmaker when that's not part of his game. Kawhi Leonard is not necessarily a playmaker either. And neither is Dame Lillard. Dame Lillard is 6'1" and 31 years old, going on 32. With a lot of mileage on that body. He already started for the first time in his career, missed significant time this year. He missed about 10, 15 games this year. He missed. But they had CJ, and there was games that CJ missed and Dame played. So between those two, they're both getting, CJ's a little younger, but, Lillard's got he got years on him. Imagine he played 3.5 years, almost 4 years in college. He wasn't a very sought out player. He went fourth, but it wasn't like people were looking, like they weren't looking for him to be the franchise guy until he showed it. Jaylen Brown's drafted third. Nobody expected Jaylen to be who he is now, but I did, but like a lot of people didn't. But you're asking him to be a distributor. Like, I don't understand that logic. Like, you're asking JB to sit in a corner. You're essentially telling JB, know your role, sit in the corners and shoot threes whenever you're open. That's not JB's game. JB's got a lot more to offer than just shit on a corner and shoot the three. Y'all complained about that the year we went to the conference finals against Miami, and he had the most efficient series, and yet he was told to sit on the corners. So now he doesn't sit on the corners, and he's dribbling and breaking dudes off dribble and doing the things that he's capable of doing. You're saying he's a black hole? A black hole is like the ultimate disrespect for one. Two, Dame Lillard doesn't play defense. And now You'll sit there and say, well, it's an offensive league. Well, let me tell you something. You're going to run into a team that prioritizes the defense in the playoffs. I don't care how many points you put up, there's always going to be someone that's going to be able to get a stop on you. If you don't believe me, look at those Golden State teams. Yeah, you might score 121 on them, but Iguodala will be there to go and make a key block, or Draymond Green will be there to make a key steal, or a key defensive rebound when needed. You need defense. And when your point guard doesn't defend and he doesn't pass the ball, you can't really necessarily go and say that he makes his teammates better. Now, Dame, here's the problem with Dame compared to Jaylen. Dame needs to sacrifice 5 or 6 points a game. So he's averaging about 28, 29. He's to average maybe around 24, 25. And get his assists up at least to 6 assists. And become more of an efficient player. Because even though he has big games, some games his shooting numbers aren't that great. Sometimes he'll have like a 31-point game, but you'll look at his shooting numbers, he's like 9 for like 32 or something, but he's getting his buckets on the free throw line. You know? I love Dame, but I don't think trading Jaylen Brown for Dame is the answer. And I keep hearing people talking about they would do that trade in a heartbeat. I'm not so sure about that. The guy aging, he's going to be 31, going to be 32 going into the season, and he doesn't really offer anything but scoring. We just went through this with Kyrie. We just went through this with Kemba. Guys that are just one-purpose guards. They just score, no ball movement, no idea for assist, like no playmaking. I'd rather keep Jaylen Brown and get a point guard that you know is going to either move the ball, even if the assist numbers are down, he's going to move the ball, like a Terry Rozier. I'd rather get someone like that who moves without the ball very well. Or get a point guard that's like a Rondo, or a guy that's like a vet that can pass the ball and defend, versus sitting there and going and getting another scoring guard. And getting another scoring guard isn't going to help our causes. You know, when we have a team that has good defense, we just need to emphasize defense more. Now, the assisting, I'm not going to blame Jaylen to Jason for it, because they didn't have anyone to pass to. And I'll tell you this, you might not think Jaylen Brown's better than Jason Tatum, but he's fucking more consistent. There's been plenty of games where, Jason would be off and Jaylen had to pick up the slack. And he pretty much damn near almost every other game with Jason to have like a 12 to 15 point performance, and Jaylen to have about 30 or 25 to 30. And the Celtics either win or lose, but you're not getting rid of Jaylen Brown. Brad Stevens ain't listening to y'all. Just know that. He's not listening to Jeff Goodman. He's not listening to the media. Now, if Portland gives them an offer that they can't refuse, they would really have to. You have to sweeten up the deal. You have to give McCollum and Damian Lillard up to get Jaylen Brown. Then I would understand, like, okay, that makes sense, because at least McCollum could defend. Not a great defender, but he could defend. He's a shooter. But if you're not going to do that, you're not going to trade both of them for Jaylen. Then I'm not trading Jaylen. I'm not doing it. I'm not doing it. I'm not enamored to do that. You know what I'm saying? So, Goat Squad TV, leave your comments down below. Let me know what you guys think. Hit the like button, subscribe, salute.